Hello there my fellow holotape heroes and welcome to another Order 66 raid video. So I finally got my bad batch now to Relic 7. I literally got Crosshair to 7 stars yesterday, bumped him straight to Relic 7, and in this video I want to show you my strategy in terms of mods, attack and turn order and things like that, that allows me to get a max score here on tier 5, so that's the Relic 7 tier. Okay, so that's my bad batch right here. Now in terms of the actual tier here 5, there is no additional things that we do get unfortunately for bad batch, so nothing really to help us along the way too much. Now in terms of, let's go through abilities and mods and then we'll hop into the battle. Now Omega does a lot of things, but mostly we'll be utilizing her leadership. It does a few things. The key thing here really is that during bad batch turns, whenever you target the same enemy, so you just have to focus down on a single target constantly, all bad batch allies gain a stack of target practice. So let's keep this target practice in mind because it'll come into play later once we are looking at Crosshair kit. Now in terms of her other abilities, this one is a pretty good one because amongst other things, it will give 10% turn meter plus additional 5% turn meter per Omega's relic level. So at Relic 7, whenever I use this ability, she will be pushing out 45% turn meter to the team, and this is important, especially, you know, if you're a bit slower out of the gates. Like I don't have exactly the best speeds I think on all of them, but I just kept bumping speed on them until I reached to a point where it was enough. So I don't want to overkill, overinvest on speed mods on bad batch because, you know, they don't get much use outside of the raid, and I don't want to be moving mods left and right for every time I do the raid. So this is a very nice ability to help you out a little bit with the turn meter out of the gate. Now in terms of modding itself, Omega, I just want to mod her for speed, so mine's at 296. And then let's go hop over, check out Wrecker. And now Wrecker, I just have him modded for protection and speed as well. So in terms of his primaries, protection. So it's really important that all of these guys are protection, and I guess health or defense set just for some extra durability. Good thing about Wrecker here, his basic here, it will dispel buffs and deal damage twice. Remember, every time we deal damage, we get a stack of target practice. So if we deal damage twice, that's 2 stacks of target practice. And on top of it, Wrecker will be removing 5% turn meter for each buff dispelled. So if enemy had any buffs on turn meter removal, and other bad batch allies gain 10% turn meter. So again, more ways to feed turn meter to your squad. And now let's move over to Hunter. Now in terms of modding for Hunter, you just want as much speed on, I guess, on him as you can manage. So mine's at 356 right there. The other stats are, well, like whatever for the raid, right? He just needs to be fast. Now the best ability he has is this one, right? Inflict mark, and then you call bad batch guys to assist. You gain offense up and things like that. But unfortunately, if you do mark the enemy, they will cleanse it and go into stealth. So this ability, it's not going to be used as much as you would like. So for the most part, we'll, at least to begin with, we'll be utilizing his basic, which again calls somebody to assist. And there's a bit of an RNG element in this, right? Who he calls to assist, because like he calls what is it, Crosshair to assist, he will miss, and then that means 1 less stack of target practice for your guys. So, you know, a bit of RNG element who he will be calling to assist, but for the most part, you know, it didn't get too much in the way when I was doing my test runs. And then Crosshair, he's the key piece here. So let's circle back to Omega, right, where we are constantly getting target practice. And what happens when we're getting target practice? Well, the Crosshair, he will be losing a stack of Shaken, and on top of it all, he will also be gaining 15% turn meter. So as other guys are just kind of constantly hitting the same target, Crosshair, he's constantly, you know, getting bonus turn meter and getting more turns in. You can quicker lose stack of Shaken, and once you do lose all stacks of Shaken, then Crosshair will take a bonus turn, right? And then once he takes his bonus turn, he'll have this target secured ability available to use, and you'll just be able to nuke out one of the guys. And then in terms of modding for Crosshair, offense, speed, So offense set obviously, and all these three guys on the right you think would be offense, but you really want accuracy arrow just so maybe you can land one hit earlier. Maybe that sounds irrelevant, but remember, extra hit, extra target practice, you lose more stacks of shaken, you gain more turn meter and things like that. So accuracy arrow, this is the only accuracy arrow I have, so by no means, you know, the best one, but what I've got, offense, crit damage, whatever you have on the here on the triangle. I didn't have any offense ones, so I just put critical damage. And in terms of speed, he's at 273. Again, Crosshair doesn't need to be too fast because he's gaining so much bonus turn meter anyways anytime we land target practice. And then finally, Batcher. Similarly, unfortunately, like Hunter, you would like to use this ability to gain extra offense and things like that. However, again, once you land Mark, right, they will dispel Mark and go into stealth. And if they're in the stealth, you can't target the same enemy, which means you reset your stacks of target practice if you don't keep hitting the same enemy. So a bit annoying that, you know, two powerful abilities from our guys we cannot use to begin with for the most part. However, this ability, the other special, is still pretty good because we'll be landing bleed and things like that, so not bad at all. In terms of Batcher, again, we just want some offense on him. It's a she, I believe, right? So we want some offense on her and speed as well. And then in terms of primaries here, offense, offense, offense. Although everybody deals so little damage, except, you know, once you do ramp up with Crosshair, that, you know, if you don't have exactly offense set and offense primaries, I don't think it'll make that much difference. Really, the key thing here is getting enough speed on these guys that you can actually you know, keep up with the enemy and neutralize them before you get nuked. That's really the main thing here. Like, yeah, sure, if you get offense, extra offense is nice, but primarily you should really be focusing on, you know, getting the speed. I said I was bumping my speed of my guys up for like 10, 20 speed when they were originally, that I got turn order, that I was able to kind of loop the enemy and get the things going. So really, you know, the speeds I'm showing you, this kind of works for me, and you can just give it a go again. Just focus on speed first and all the other stats secondary, except Wrecker, right? He really needs to be thick because there's a lot of hits coming your way, and even with that much protection, for the most part, he gets nuked out very, very quickly to begin with. Okay, so with all of that out of the way, time for battle. Again, the biggest RNG from my own experiences is like, who will a Hunter call to assist? Like, that's the biggest thing, right, on his basic, that kind of affects the outcome of the battle. So, you know, you may need to run this a few times to get the RNG lined up, unless you got more speeds on your bad batch. Like for me, this is what I'm able to work with. So I'm just gonna ignore Fox. We're gonna nuke him out with Crosshair. I'll just focus all fire on Apo here. So Hunter will just be doing basics. And then because you can see my clones are a bit slow, I'm gonna go ahead and boost turn meter with Omega for them. And we're gonna use here bleed ability, land bleed on Apo. Crosshair targets himself. Okay, that's fine. Wrecker taking a beating. So we're just gonna do basic on Apo. Then we're gonna lose Wrecker. I always lose them no matter what. And then we'll just keep pinging away here at Apo with the basic attacks, just that we get Crosshair online as quickly as possible. Okay, there we go, Crosshair online, so we can now go ahead and nuke out Fox. And now we gotta keep out a little bit on the turn order, we gotta keep out a little bit on the stacks of execute, so we got 6 stacks of execute on Lord Vader, so we still have a bit of time. So just use a basic here on Apo. Try to finish him. Down he goes. Good. So we got Oppa down. However, clones are about to get a turn, so let's go ahead, make sure we first increase the stacks of execute over on Lord Vader, just that we can keep the Jedi alive for longer. And then these guys will go under stealth, so I'm not gonna bother with them. So instead, what I'll do is actually subdue them, just to reduce their damage. And now that we do have Crosshair online, I keep calling Wrecker for the assist whenever I can, and again we'll just keep utilizing basics here. We'll just keep going. All right, there we go. All right, and now again we can boost our meter to the team here with Omega, so let's go ahead and do that. And again, use the special ability here, get double tap on Lord Vader, just basic there again, deal damage twice with Wrecker. and there we go, we can go ahead and rescue the Jedi. Okay, so far so good. So what I'll do now is heal up Wrecker, make sure he can survive long enough. It wasn't enough, unfortunately. They nuked him out. This happens for my tasting most of the times. Now in the second round, now that we have lots of stacks of execute still to play with, I will do the AoE here, get the shock on these guys so then they can't go under stealth. And now we can keep calling Hunter for the assist. And again, because they got shocked, they won't be able to go stealth, so we can now use other special abilities that before we were not able to. Okay, there we go, got him down. Sure, give me some turn meter for the team, and we'll start working on the final trooper here. Again, we can now get the assist, we don't have to worry about him going stealth because he was shocked. Now we just start working on Lord Vader, right? Get those stacks down. Just do a basic and another basic. And now we can rescue our second Jedi. So we're just down to the last Jedi. And as you can see, these guys will go under stealth because we don't have shock on them. So instead, we'll just start pinging away at one of the Nightfall troopers. Again, we don't want to mark them, right? They're going to stealth, then we can't target them. So we'll just keep doing that. Ooh, this is tempting. You know what? Let's go ahead and nuke out one of these guys. There we go. Which unfortunately reset our target practice, but that's okay. We'll get it back online in a moment now. Let's go ahead and get Hunter for the assist. Okay, let's feed some turn meter to the team. We'll now keep pinging away at this guy. Okay, let's go ahead. I should finish him, hopefully. Yep, one more hit. And let's go over to the final clone. Just a basic here will do. Sure, just basics, I guess, at this point. It's just down to Lord Vader. Let's go ahead, rescue the Jedi. And hopefully we can now get the max score done in this run. Let's see if without a Wrecker, we've got enough to outlast an enraged Lord Vader. Alright, so I think it matters. You just kind of use special abilities and get your max score, and Vader has had enough. Alright, so I was able to knock this out, but again, it's a bit of a close one. I think having even more speed than I do in Euroclones will help, but you know, my motto is always when it comes to raids, I'm not gonna remod, right, for raid every single time, so I'm just kind of slowly bumping up the mods until I get to a point that I can get it done. Alright, let's actually do one more run just to see how an RNG will play out in this one. We'll just, I guess, speed through it now that you do understand how things work. Alright, let's go ahead and get this thing going. Just gonna start off with a basic here, and then a booster meter to the team. I'm gonna get bleed over on Apo, and Crosshair targets himself. And then Wrecker's taking a beating. Okay, and we're just gonna do basic over on Apo. Then we're gonna lose a Wrecker. Yep, down he goes. Again, basics over on here. Just keep doing basics over on Apo. Basic over there. Another basic. And another basic. And now we can nuke out Fox. So let's go ahead and nuke him out. And then how we doing? Yeah, we are doing okay for everything. So I'll just keep pinging away at Apo. There we go. Down he goes. Alright, and now only 2 stacks of execute to go, so we definitely have to use the ability to increase the stacks. Then what I'll do is subdue the clones, and then we'll just kind of, again, basic, right, with Wrecker deals damage twice, so I'm gonna keep using basic. Now we have Crosshair online, we can keep calling Hunter for the assist. So let's just go ahead and keep doing that. Down he goes, good. And now I have to keep pinging here at Vader. Let's go ahead, booster meter to the team, because as you can see, we got only 3 stacks of execute to go. So let's just hurry up now and rescue the Jedi before it's too late. There we go, Jedi rescued. And now we're just gonna keep hitting this guy over here. Sure, again, just basic, right, with Wrecker, dealing damage twice. I always lose Wrecker, it seems like, so that's just the way it is. And we'll just keep pinging away at this guy. Let's call Hunter for the assist. Okay, Good. Let's go ahead and actually here reset cooldowns on Crosshair. So he can go ahead and nuke out one of the sides. Boom, get him out. And then we'll just keep working on Nightfall Trooper next. Yeah, we'll just do basics here. There we go, get a nice assist. More turn meter for the team with Omega. Get a Hunter for the assist. That should finish him up, hopefully. Nope. I'll just do basic then. Finish him up. And now we can go ahead and finish this guy. Get me bleed over here. There we go. And now we're just down to Lord Vader again. So let's go ahead, rescue our second Jedi. Okay. And again, let's go ahead and get Hunter for the assist. We'll just keep doing basics. Do you know what? Let's do the AoE now here, just to get shocks on the board so these guys can't go under stealth. Okay, good. Okay, hang in there, Omega. And now because he's got shock, he won't be able to go stealth when we do mark him, which is good. Same thing, this guy's stealth, right? So we can use now the ability on him. He's shocked, not going to stealth. Feed turn meter to the team. Get him out. And now it's basically finished, right? Again, I basically always lose Wrecker no matter what. Let's go ahead and rescue our last Jedi and have our final confrontation with unenraged Lord Vader, but he's not enraged enough. I guess we should be able to now knock him down. Just need a couple of hits on him and we should be good here. I'm just gonna do a basic here and a basic over there, and there you have it. And there you go, guys. That's how I modded my Bad Batch. Again, the key thing here really is, I think, to get the speeds nailed down, and then if you can get some offense to your damage dealers is nice, but I would definitely focus obviously on getting the speeds. Like Omega, she just needs speed, nothing else, right? So mine's at 296. Wrecker, some speed if you can, but again, you know, Omega will feed turn meter anyway to him, so mainly making sure he's got protection primaries on everything. Hunter, he just needs speed, nothing else matters for him. And then obviously for Crosshair, as well as Batcher, some speed and offense if you can spare. So just, you know, having a final look at the mods. And there you have it, guys. Bad Batch, not the easiest to run. Like, it's always a bit, you know, on the edge, especially in the first wave, because I think I don't have enough speed of my clones. But again, I didn't want to invest too much in them because I'm not really using them all that much outside of the raid. Alright guys, thank you for watching. Hopefully this video was useful and helpful, showing you how you can max score on tier 5, so it's the Relic 7 tier with the Bad Batch. I'll see you in the next one, but until then, have fun, enjoy life, and may the RNG be with you, my friends.